continuing the Shi'ur in the Garden of Emunah. We're on page 114. Why do I have tribulations? So that's it. We're living Emunah, right? We're happy. Okay, the guy cut me off, and I don't know, my boss is not being really good to me, but thank you, Hashem. So why are you having so much difficulties then? If you're doing the Emunah thing and everything's so wonderful, so why are you having these tribulations? Well, now in the third level of Emunah, we're working on that. So what do? We're suffering. What do? Well, Kodem Kol, we have to see is, how are we doing? How are we doing with ourselves? When you look in the mirror, what are you seeing? Are you happy? Are you really, really, truly, truly happy? Are you doing the thank you Hashem and living the Malbarif? Are we doing all these things? Because that means what? That if you are, then all this stuff, if you're not happy and you're not comfortable with the situation and you're not doing if anything is wrong, if there's any bad character trait there, if there's any bad midah, depression, sadness, it didn't work out the way I wanted, we have to constantly look back to ourselves first. So what are we going to do now? We're going to check if we're happy. We have to know that we have good things. Let's say a person sins, chas v'shalom. But of course, how many other things did you do today? You have to look at yourself favorably. How much rahmanut do you have on your children? How much? All these things are taken into account. Every hashbon is taken into account. Every maaseh that you do, even if it looks on the outside like cruel, but if your intention was good, and Hashem knows that, that's what it's going to be. It's all what the heart was by. That's where, so we have to understand that we have good traits. We do good things, we have a myriad of good things, and you know what? We have to judge ourselves favorably as well. You need to not just judge others when it says that we should heveh zahir ledanet kol adam lekaf zechut. You should judge every man favorably. It also includes you. You have to include yourself in that picture. You can't just say, other people, but me. Why? Because if you don't have emunah in yourself, that what? That everything that's going on in your life is also thank you, Hashem? Meaning all the stuff that we mess up in, quote unquote, because we're not messing up either, really. We have a choice to mess up. Whether we are messed up or not is not in our control. We have bechira. But the most important bechira here is that we need to understand that if we have any of these feelings, that we don't have emunah. And therefore, if I don't have emunah, that's the first thing we need to work on. Because really, Hashem is happy. Hashem is happy exactly with the situation right now as it is. Okay? And Hashem is proud of you exactly the way you are right now. And He loves you exactly the way you are right now. How do I know this? Because everything else is also Hakol Tova. Everything else, right? So the tree, is not you. The corona is not you. That's Hashem. That we're good with. And other people, maybe we could say, okay, it's also Hashem. But ourselves, we have a very hard time forgetting that, wow, if I only would have done this, and if I only would have done that, and no, everything is done already. Everything is done already. Therefore, Hashem is very happy exactly the way you are right now. And therefore, we have to now look at ourselves. If we're not happy, that's the first, because we're learning how to deal with the messages. So when we know how to deal with the message, the first thing we do in the litmus test to check to see if we're getting the messages or not is, well, are you happy? Because if you're not happy, you shouldn't even make teshuvah right now. Because that's just going to make you lose emunah more. Because you're just going to be shambling yourself. You're going to put yourself down. You're going to, there's a time and place for everything. There's a time and place for teshuvah. Teshuvah should be when you're in the happy mode. We have to get to that happy mode, but we have to believe that everything is hashgacha pratit. Every mess up we ever made, every building we bought or didn't buy, every email we sent or didn't send, every person we spoke to or didn't speak to, was all exactly hashgacha pratit, to put you into the exact position where you are right now. To do what? To get closer to Him, to mekarev yourself to Him. So we have to constantly be checking. In the morning, you wake up. Sometimes you're gloomy, if for no reason even, and the days change. One day, just because the sun comes out, you're happy, and then the next day you wake up, and these are all tests for us. What's the message in that? Why did I wake up the next day not so happy? Well, the first thing is, are you happy with yourself? Are you happy? That's the first thing we have to get from any message. That's what the rabbi was saying yesterday, that there's one message from the whole story. It's all emunah. And therefore we have to look in ourselves first, because if we don't have emunah in ourselves, that what? You don't have to have emunah that you do anything. You have to have emunah that Hashem's calling all the shots, Hashem's doing everything. And it's perfect. It's exactly the way He wants. Right now. Of course, for the future, we'll talk about how we act in the future. But right now, emunah teaches us that whatever happened until this point is exactly 100% the way it was supposed to be. No change. Hashem wouldn't make any change. It's perfection. Now, from here on, this is on us to kick in. We're going to get there. Let's not jump to that level, but we're not just going to do nothing. Of course, we have to. You can't just say, oh, whatever Hashem wants, and that's great. We're going to get there, le'at. But right now, you have to believe that even all your failures, get yourself out of the way. Get out of the kitchen. Get out of the way. Take yourself out of the picture. It was all Hashem. Everything till now is all Hashem, and everything that's going to be is all Hashem. And you have the power to choose. Choose what? To be connected to Him. To be connected to Him. It's all He wants. Are you going to put it towards Him, or you're not going to put it towards Him? And as long as we're not going to put it towards Him, so then we're going to have a rough life. That's why we're going to have tribulations. So let's start putting it towards Him. Put it towards Him, because tshuva is, because then after that it can only come everything, all the fixation can come after that clarity. Don't forget that we are our biggest obstacle. Us ourselves are our biggest obstacle of getting close to Hashem. Get out of the way and understand that He loves you, and understand that He's happy with you, and understand that He's proud of you. And we're all proud of you.